At exactly 3:33 a.m. on May 17th, Archangel Michael spoke. The one who wronged you is facing consequences, but tell no one what comes next. In the sacred silence of 3:33 a.m. on May 17th, when the veil is thinnest and the spiritual realm speaks clearest, a message was released, not to the crowd, not to the many, but to you. Archangel Michael did not shout this across the heavens. He whispered it into your spirit, because what is happening now is for your ears only. There is a divine reckoning unfolding in real time. The one who wronged you, the one who twisted your truth, betrayed your trust, violated your peace, is now standing in the spiritual courtroom. Not before you, not before man, but before heaven itself. And their judgment has begun. This message was not sent to ignite revenge. It was not sent so you could retaliate, gloat, or speak of your vindication. It was sent so that you could prepare. Because what comes next requires more silence, more strength, more surrender than you have ever held before. You are being told to say nothing. Do not announce what God is doing. Do not expose what you know. Do not respond to the shifts you sense in them. Why? Because heaven wants the testimony to be unmistakably divine. Your victory must not look like revenge. It must look like resurrection. And that can only happen when you let God finish the battle they started. At this very moment, the spiritual realm is not sleeping. The weight of their actions has reached its limit. The cries you made in silence were never ignored. The moments you replayed in your mind, where you doubted if they'd ever face justice, were recorded in the courts of heaven. And now, the gavel has dropped. They will begin to reap what they sowed. But you must guard your mouth and your energy, because any interference from you can slow what heaven has already set in motion. You are not just being protected, you are being elevated. But elevation comes with obedience. When Archangel Michael moves, he clears the path, slays what stands in your way, and shields what cannot be seen. But he also expects discipline. This is your hour to walk in the unseen, to trust without touching, to believe without broadcasting. The consequence they face is not your concern. A miracle you are walking into is. And so, stay alert. Stay humble. Stay silent. Because while their downfall begins, your breakthrough is already rising on the horizon. Type "I am silent" and shield it in the comments if this message was for you. Blessing code 1717 is now activated. Exactly 3:33 a.m. on May 17th, the heavens stirred. And in that sacred hour, Archangel Michael stepped forward, not with noise, but with precision. He did not arrive to make announcements. He arrived to issue an instruction. He came as a divine enforcer, to place you under spiritual protection and declare that the season of delay, the season of injustice, the season of false peace is over. Something has shifted in the atmosphere. And this time, it is not a warning. It is a reversal. The one who wronged you is standing before spiritual law, and judgment is already echoing in their life. But here is the divine command: tell no one. The angel's sword is not drawn for ceremony. It is drawn to separate you from what has been sabotaging your soul. Archangel Michael has watched from the throne's edge as you cried silent tears, as you bit your tongue, as you bore the weight of betrayal in silence. You asked, will they ever face it? You questioned, will justice ever come? And heaven answered, not with thunder, not with a storm, but with a whisper at 3:33 a.m. Yes, the angel said, but only if you do not speak it before I finish it. This moment is sacred. You are standing between exposure and elevation, and both are happening at once, one to them and one to you. Archangel Michael has not come to entertain your emotions. He has come to activate your purpose. He is not watching what they said or what they did. He's watching how you respond. You are being watched by heaven in this hour. Will you obey the stillness? Will you honor the silence? Will you trust the invisible? Because this is where the righteous are separated from the reactive. This is where those who are called learn how to be chosen. You are not being silenced as punishment. You are being silenced as protection. There is a difference. Archangel Michael's voice has pierced the veil because your destiny is under construction. And heaven cannot afford noise in the middle of your rebuilding. He says, be careful. Something is shifting in your atmosphere. And not everyone who wronged you deserves access to the new you that's emerging. This is why you're being called to secrecy, because what's growing in you cannot survive in the atmosphere that wounded you. The authority of Archangel Michael does not move on suggestion. It moves by divine order. And tonight, the order has been set. The one who wronged you will witness your rise. They will face consequence. But if you speak out of season, you may lose your position. This is a holy test wrapped in divine timing. Your silence will speak louder than your voice ever could. Your stillness will provoke more conviction than your confrontation. Heaven has decided it's your time, but heaven is watching how you steward the silence. You are not alone in this. You have not been abandoned in the dark. The reason it feels so still is because you are surrounded. Angelic forces have been stationed around you. Archangel Michael is not just delivering a message, he is defending a movement. A movement is you. Your alignment. Your promise. Your becoming. And nothing, not slander, not betrayal, not rejection, can stop what heaven has stamped. You are under command now. Command to stay silent. Command to stay centered. Command to watch the hand of God move without lifting a finger. There is urgency in this hour, but not panic. There is movement, but not noise. There is exposure, but not explanation. And you are the chosen one who must walk in the middle of this divine contradiction. You are rising while someone else is crumbling. And yet, your mouth must remain sealed. Because the only thing more powerful than a righteous voice is a restrained one. And Archangel Michael is watching to see if you can be trusted with restraint. Type "I will obey" in silence in the comments if this message strikes your spirit. Blessing code 3333 is now surrounding you. Someone thought they understood you. Someone believed they had mapped your spirit, read your soul, charted your limits, and guessed your next move. But what they never saw coming was the shift in heaven that was already aligning before they betrayed you. They watched you closely, not to honor you, but to predict you. They assumed your silence was surrender. They believed your absence meant defeat. But Archangel Michael saw their eyes before they ever watched you. He heard their whispers before they ever opened their mouths. And now, they are being held accountable, not to you but to God Himself. A conversation happened, and it wasn't in your presence. It was behind your back. It was masked in smiles, cloaked in polite gestures, covered in shallow words. You were mentioned. Your name was twisted. Your intentions were misread. And the most dangerous part, they only uncovered a fragment of your truth, but they ran with it like it was a whole story. They mistook your journey for weakness, your transition for instability, your silence for guilt. And in that reckless assumption, they opened a spiritual case against themselves. What they didn't know was that you are hidden under divine surveillance. Every misstep they took against you was recorded. Every sentence spoken in slander was sealed into the record of heaven. They thought they could handle your destiny like it was theirs to shape. They believed they had the right to define you, to speak your future into limitation, to reduce your essence into a narrative that fit their jealousy. But Archangel Michael has intervened, and what they whispered in the dark is now causing thunder in their own atmosphere. You felt it, haven't you? That unease in your spirit when their name comes up. That sudden tension in the air when you walk into certain rooms. That lingering feeling that people know just enough about you to misunderstand everything about you. That's not paranoia. That's prophetic sensitivity. Heaven was warning you all along. Archangel Michael didn't just witness what they said. He shielded you from the full damage of it. You were being protected while being misrepresented. And now, the consequences they invited are beginning to unfold. But the enemy is clever. You're sensing the unraveling. And now, they may try to return, not with apology, but with performance. They may test your spirit, checking for cracks in your armor, hoping to find access again. They may act as though nothing happened. They may pretend ignorance. But your spirit knows. Your silence has taught you to hear what isn't being said. Your discernment is sharper now, and Archangel Michael is charging you to listen with spiritual ears, not emotional ones. There is a danger hidden in every half-truth, and what they said about you was never the whole truth. It was a version warped by their need to feel superior, relevant, or right. But now they face a mirror, and the reflection is too clear to avoid. Heaven is allowing their own words to echo back to them, louder, sharper, more destructive. And yet, your role in this is not to gloat or expose. Your role is to withdraw, to step back and let the divine process complete itself. You are not responsible for how they misread you. You are responsible for how you respond now. And the most powerful thing you can do is walk in absolute stillness. Let their imagination torment them. Let their guilt confront them. Let heaven carry the weight of truth, because truth, when protected by silence, becomes undeniable. And Archangel Michael is ensuring that they feel what they once made you feel, not out of vengeance, but out of divine justice. Now is not the time to defend yourself. Now is not the hour to post your truth, reply to their messages, or address what you already know. Now is the hour to stay above. Rise higher. Keep moving forward in power, in clarity, and in silence. Because every step you take without needing to explain yourself is a strike against the spiritual forces that tried to hold you back. Type "I am untouchable" in truth in the comments if your spirit knows this message was for you. Blessing code 2112 is now awakened over your life. This battle you're feeling, it is not ordinary. This tension you're carrying, it is not merely emotional. The betrayal, the silence, the manipulation, the slander, these are not just human offenses. They are spiritual signals. What you have endured was never about personalities or situations. It was about purpose. It was never just about them. It was always about you. Your destiny, your light, your calling. These things make you a target in the spirit realm long before they ever make you a success in the natural one. And Archangel Michael has come now to remove the veil, to show you that this conflict was spiritual warfare in disguise. The one who wronged you did not just cross you. They challenged your assignment. They were not sent by chance. They were sent as a test. Not to break you, but to reveal what's inside you. And you passed, not because you never felt the urge to retaliate, but because you never let the urge take your crown. You could have exposed them. You could have struck back. You could have answered rumor with revelation. But you didn't. You stayed still. You stayed silent. You stayed surrendered. and that surrender became a weapon more dangerous than any words you could have spoken. You see, what happened to you was never meant to stop you. It was designed to shape you, to sharpen you, to elevate you in the eyes of heaven. Because this isn't personal, it's spiritual positioning. They reacted to your anointing, not your actions. They resisted your light, not your lifestyle. Darkness always novices when a divine presence enters the room. Shadows don't argue with you because they're strong. They argue with you because your very presence threatens to displace them. That's what happened here. You were a mirror they could not lie in front of. And so they did the only thing darkness knows how to do: attack. But Archangel Michael says, this war has already been won in heaven. You're not fighting for victory and you're walking it out on earth. That is why you must stop carrying this like it's still happening. It's not happening. It's resolving. Heaven has already rendered a verdict. The one who wronged you hath been summoned before spiritual law. But you are being summoned to greatness. And the only thing that can sabotage this divine transition is your need to explain what God has already judged. Let them say what they want. Let them assume what they want. Let them sit in circles and stir the ashes of a fire that's already burned out. You don't belong there anymore. That battlefield was temporary. Your elevation is permanent. You are anointed. You are marked. You are sealed. And no earthly conversation can alter what heaven has already declared. They saw the outer version of you, the one still in process, the one still healing, the one still unsure. But heaven sees the finite you, the one who emerges unshaken, undefeated and unshakable. And that version is who you are becoming now. This is a moment of divine framing, where heaven takes what the enemy meant for harm and reframes it into divine preparation. A pain. Graveration. The isolation. Graveration. A betrayal. Graveration. Every single thing that broke your heart was building your crown. Archangel Michael has encamped around you. He has fought in the silence. He has stood where you could not. And now, he is speaking because the silence is over, not for them, but for you. You're not stepping into vengeance. You're stepping into vision. You're not stepping into reaction. You're stepping into revelation. You're not stepping into the past. You're stepping into the prophetic. But be clear, this is still a sacred space. What you say now matters. What you post, what you share, what you respond to, it all matters. Heaven is watching. Not because it needs your help, but because it wants to see if you're ready to handle what's next. And if you are, then silence will become your sword. Stillness will become your strategy. And obedience will become your elevation. Type "I am divinely framed for glory" in the comments if this message has awakened you. Blessing code 4141 is now alive in your atmosphere. The one who wronged you isn't done trying. While heaven has already begun the reversal, while consequences are manifesting in unseen realms, there is still one move left on their part. It is subtle. It is disguised. It may arrive in the form of a text, a casual hello, a coincidental moment of reconnection. But do not be fooled. Archangel Michael is sounding the trumpet. They are preparing to act. Not to restore, but to manipulate. Not to apologize, but to access you again. Because now, they feel it. They sense it. They see it. Your energy has shifted. Your frequency has risen. Your silence has become louder than their lies ever were. And now, they're afraid of what you know. This fear will drive them to do what they've always done: twist truth, soften boundaries, perform repentance. They may reach out. They may try to stir confusion by acting as if nothing ever happened. They'll test your spiritual memory by feigning innocence. But Archangel Michael says, do not engage. Not because you're weak, but because you're already free. Engaging them now reopens doors that heaven just sealed. You don't need closure. You don't need explanation. You don't even need their apology. The angels already closed the case. But understand this. Their attempts will come wrapped in peace. That's the deception. It will look like confrontation. It won't sound like warfare. It will look like a hand stretched out in kindness. It will sound like reconciliation. And this is where your discernment will be tested. Because the enemy has learned, you're no longer shaken by attacks. So now, they come through kindness. But make no mistake, not every apology is holy. Not every return is redemption. Some doors stay closed not because you're bitter, but because heaven locked them. In the next few days, perhaps even the next few hours, you will feel the tug, a memory, a dream, a temptation to reach out, a sudden urge to explain yourself. But hear this clearly. This is spiritual bait. And those who take the bait forfeit the blessing. Archangel Michael is not just warning you. He's positioning you. He's placing you where interference cannot reach you. But to stay in that position, you must resist the urge to clarify, to correct, to connect. You will know when your voice. You will know when your peace. You will know when your access. This moment is a trap dressed as a choice. The trap is emotional. It appeals to your heart, your memory, your desire to be understood. But heaven is asking, would you rather be understood by them or elevated by me? You can't have both. Because if you return to what wounded you, you'll delay what's waiting for you. You'll slow the momentum. You'll forfeit the quiet reward God is preparing behind the scenes. And right now, you're too close to the promise to slip. You're too close to the door opening to knock on the one God shut. Let this be your reminder. Silence is not passive. It is powerful. You are not ignoring them out of pride. You are protecting your promise. You are not withholding to hurt them. You are obeying to heal yourself. Archangel Michael is clearing your atmosphere, but he needs your alignment. And alignment means trusting the timing, obeying the instruction, and resisting the invitation to revisit what broke you. If they message you, leave it unread. If they mention you, let them. If they twist your name, let it spiral. You're not called to defend your reputation. You're called to protect your anointing. You are not where you used to be. And you must not let guilt, curiosity, or loneliness drag you back to what heaven dragged you from. The next 72 hours will test your spiritual maturity more than any battle before. And how you move, or how you don't, will shape what opens next. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way and continue sharing divine insight with others who need it. Thank you for being a part of this sacred movement. Type "I will not reopen closed doors" in the comments if you hear this warning in your spirit. Blessing code 6262 is guarding your decisions. There is a holy silence you are being called into, not because heaven is withholding answers, but because heaven is revealing trust. When Archangel Michael says, "Do not speak of what comes next," it is not a suggestion. It is divine strategy. You are stepping into sacred territory, and sacred things must be shielded. You are not being asked to be silent out of fear. You are being commanded to be silent because your next move is too divine to be explained to people who don't carry your mantle. Not everyone can hear the language of elevation. Not everyone can be trusted with the blueprint of breakthrough. Archangel Michael stands beside you not as a distant figure but as your divine guard, stationed between your destiny and every spirit that seeks to delay it. He sees your heart. He knows the moments when you've wanted to scream your truth, to correct the record, to expose the one who twisted your story. But he is reminding you, heaven saw it all. And when heaven sees, heaven responds. Your protection is not in explanation. Your protection is in obedience. Because what is forming for you in silence will not require defense. It will speak for itself. Stay grounded. Stay still. Let your silence be a statement. Let your stillness echo louder than the noise of gossip. You don't need to fight fire with fire. That's not your language anymore. You fight with light. You fight with purpose. You fight by rising. The one who warned you is already being handled. You are not the enforcer. You are the protected. And protection sometimes looks like restriction. Sometimes God restricts your ability to speak, to act, to react, because what He's building around you must not be tainted with human effort. Let this season be one where you train your tongue. Say only what builds. Declare only what aligns. Protect your peace like it's sacred ground, because it is. Every time you resist the urge to engage, you build spiritual strength. Every time you decline to respond, you sharpen your discernment. Every time you say nothing, you allow heaven to say everything. You are not just walking away from conflict, you are walking into consecration. When you feel the urge to explain yourself, pause. When you feel the pull to justify your actions, breathe. When you feel the need to confront them, remember this. They already know. They already know what they did. They already feel the shift. They already sense the consequences. Your voice doesn't add weight. Your voice might delay what God is trying to finalize. Trust this silence. Trust this season. Trust that if Archangel Michael has commanded you to speak nothing, then something far more powerful is being spoken on your behalf in the courts of heaven. You may not understand why it still stings. You may not understand why you're being told to keep quiet. But understand this. Your silence is not punishment. It is preservation. And soon, what is hidden in silence will manifest in glory. Your obedience in this moment is setting the foundation for what you will walk into next. A door is opening that your words could never unlock, but your stillness has. Let them think you're weak. Let them assume you're defeated. Let them write their story. Because heaven is writing a new one, and this one, no one can revise. Archangel Michael is covering you. He is guarding your name. He is lifting your spirit when the weight becomes too much. And He is reminding you now, even in this quiet, even in this waiting, you are not alone. You are being held. You are being shielded. You are being led. There is strength in surrender. There is power in patience. There is glory in withholding. Do not fear what feels like pause. This is preparation. The path is being cleared. The weapon is being broken. The lie is being unraveled. And the next thing you see will not be because you fought for it, but because you trusted for it. Heaven rewards trust. Heaven honors obedience. And you are being honored, even now, in silence. Type "I trust heaven" silence in the comments if your spirit has found rest in this word. Blessing code 0808 is anchoring your obedience. You are no longer who they thought you were. You are no longer the version they betrayed. You are no longer the broken one who stayed quiet out of pain. You are now the silent one standing in power. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this loud in your spirit. You have risen. You didn't just survive their betrayal. You transcended it. You didn't just make it through the storm. You became the storm's command. The you they attacked was a you in transition. But the you that's emerging now is anointed, armored, and untouchable. Let them talk. Let them watch. Let them wonder how you're still standing. Because they'll never understand how heaven held you when earth failed you. They'll never know how angels surrounded you when friends abandoned you. They'll never grasp how silence didn't crush you. It crowned you. This is the shift. This is the turning point. And Archangel Michael is not asking you to walk into it. He's escorting you into it. What comes next is not something you will strive for. It is something you will step into, with confidence and holy assurance. Their name is fading, but yours is being written in bold. Their power is withering, but yours is just beginning to grow. You are not reacting anymore. You are rising. And your rise is irritating every enemy that thought they had already buried you. They thought you were done when you went quiet. But silence was your rebirth. Stillness was your transformation. Every minute you stayed hidden, heaven was refining you. Every hour you spent not responding, the spiritual realm was rearranging access, shutting their doors, opening yours. And now, they are the ones watching in confusion. They see you glowing differently. They feel your presence before you entered the room. They sense your atmosphere shifting before a word leaves your mouth. Because you are not just walking in purpose, you're carrying fire. You're carrying favor. And the weight of your assignment is now beginning to reveal itself. Archangel Michael says, they can't touch what I've sealed. They can't reach what I've raised. And they cannot curse what I've already crowned. This empowerment is not arrogance. It is anointed confidence. And yes, it comes after the pain. Yes, it comes after the betrayal. Yes, it comes after the abandonment. But that was the soil. And now you are the seed that refuses to die. You have outgrown the environment that tried to contain you. You are no longer begging to be understood. You are no longer hoping they come back to apologize. You are no longer explaining to people who can't even comprehend the depth of your calling. That season is over. And now, your roar is in your quiet. Your weapon is in your walk. Your power is in your presence. Let them whisper. Let them question. Let them speculate. Because everything they said you'd never be, you already are. Every room they tried to block you from, God is calling you into. Every lie they spoke over you, heaven is now rewriting in your favor. This is not your comeback. This is your confirmation. The one who wronged you thought they were destroying you. But instead, they became the platform for your public ascension. They are watching. And soon, they will realize that what they buried was never a corpse, it was a seed. You are rising. With grace. With power. With clarity. And with silence. You are no longer available for sabotage. You are no longer accessible to those who don't respect the sacred. And you are no longer confused about who you are. Archangel Michael has declared it. You are unstoppable. You are untouchable. You are unshaken. And from this day forward, your energy will no longer shrink to fit their comfort. You are rising. Let them watch. If this message has empowered you, consider supporting with a super thanks, super chat, or a membership gift. Even just $10 can help us continue delivering divine insight and transformational words to those who need it most. Your support is sacred. Your generosity keeps the light shining. Type I am rising and sealed in the comments if you feel your power returning. Blessing code 9991 is now activated over your path. There is a final shift approaching, not a whisper, not a suggestion, but a divine turning point. Archangel Michael declares it clearly now. This is the conclusion of a spiritual cycle and the beginning of your prophetic manifestation. The one who wronged you is now feeling the sting of their own deception, not because you retaliated, but because heaven responded. You did move, heaven moved. You didn't strike back. The angels executed divine order. And now, reversal has been set in motion that cannot be interrupted, silenced, or slowed. You don't need to wonder if justice will be served. It's already begun. The unraveling is already happening. The disruptions in their life are not random. They are a response, a spiritual consequence that was released the moment you chose obedience over offense. This is no longer about what they said or did. This is about what heaven is now revealing in response to it. You've been elevated in silence, promoted in private, rewarded in the realm where only the obedient are recognized. And now, that reward will begin to manifest. Expect there's to come to the good in certain ways, from set in places. The blessing isn't coming from the ones who rejected you. It's coming from the doors they tried to block. The very path they tried to darken is now lit with divine favor. They whispered about you behind your back, but now the whispers will shift to wonder. How did they rise like that? Who opened those doors? How did that happen so fast? They won't know, and they won't be able to stop it. Because this next breakthrough is not just for restoration. It's for revelation. Heaven is about to reveal who you really are, not through words but through wonders. The same ones who denied your value will watch your platform grow. The same ones who questioned your future will see you step into destiny. The same ones who mocked your silence will choke on their own noise. Not because you sought revenge, but because God always finishes what He starts, and He started something holy inside of you the moment you chose to walk in obedience. You are being marked now, not with pity, but with power. You're not being seen as the victim anymore. You are being recognized as the vessel. This was a final test before your elevation, and you passed it by trusting the process. You didn't just survive the betrayal, you became better because of it. You didn't let bitterness poison you. You let grace rebuild you. And now, heaven is about to announce what hell tried to keep hidden. The next move is miraculous. The next shift is supernatural. The next chapter is pure glory. There is a moment coming soon. It may be hours away, or days, where someone will come forward with the truth. Not because you asked, but because truth always exposes itself when heaven demands it. Someone who witnessed what they did. Someone who heard the conversations. Someone who once stayed silent but can no longer remain still. They are being prompted by the Spirit to bring clarity, and when they do, you will know. This is not chance. This is confirmation. You will feel a release. You will feel a clearing. And when it happens, you will not need to defend yourself ever again. The weight will lift. The confusion will dissolve. And the story they tried to write about you will collapse under the weight of God's truth. Because no lie, no slander, no shadow can stand when the light of the Lord begins to shine. And that light is shining on you now. This is your moment of transformation. From the ashes you rise. From silence you roar. From rejection you reign. And all of it, every part, was necessary. Because now, you are walking into a glory that was built in the dark, revealed in the light, and sealed by obedience. Type this in my final shift in the comments if this prophecy confirms your spirit. Blessing code 1212 is now descending on your elevation. Now is your moment to step forward, not physically, but spiritually. Now is your time to agree with heaven, to declare your alignment, to activate what has been spoken into your soul. This is not just another word you listen to. This is a divine directive you respond to. Archangel Michael didn't come to inform you. He came to invite you into clarity, into power, into holy agreement. And how you respond right now will set the tone for how swiftly this prophecy unfolds in your life. The spiritual world does not wait for the passive. It rewards the positioned. And positioning happens not just in posture, but in proclamation. When you declare a word, you don't just receive it, you seal it. When you type Amen, you're not just confirming that you heard something, you're announcing to the unseen realm that you believe something. This is your divine agreement. This is your moment to tell heaven, yes, I'm ready. This is your time to stand up in the Spirit and say, I will not go back. I will not shrink. I will not explain what God is elevating. I receive the silence. I embrace the rise. The one who wronged you may still be speaking. The world around you may still be watching. But none of that matters right now. What matters is how you respond to what heaven just released into your life. Archangel Michael is watching. The angels are ready. The shift is active. The question is not whether the prophecy is real, it's whether your alignment is. Because breakthrough requires partnership, and your partnership begins with declaration. Say it out loud. Say it in the comments. Say it in your heart if you must. But do not leave this moment without owning it, without activating it. Because silence protected you before, but declaration will empower you now. What you say now echoes in your future. What you decree now becomes the blueprint for what heaven builds next. You are not waiting on confirmation. This message was the confirmation. You are not waiting on another sign. This is the sign. You are not waiting on clarity. This is clarity wrapped in prophecy. This is more than just a message. This is spiritual legislation. What was declared here is not opinion. It is order. A divine order for your rise. A divine order for your silence. A divine order for your enemies' consequences. And now, your response is the signature that seals the decree. Archangel Michael is not only speaking, he is recording. Every name that declares agreement is being logged. Every voice that says I believe is being written into this moment. Do not watch this and walk away unchanged. Do not listen and remain neutral. Step into it. Claim it. Declare it. Your life is not just shifting, it is being rewritten. But your words must match your season. You cannot enter breakthrough with the language of bondage. You cannot rise with the declarations of doubt. Speak like you are already free. Declare like you are already elevated. Agree like you are already crowned. And when you do, heaven will respond, not with delay, but with divine speed. If this message has marked you and you feel the Spirit urging you to act, take a moment to support the channel. Whether it's $1.20 super thanks, a membership, or simply sharing this message, your action keeps this sacred work going, reaching others who need what heaven is speaking. Your presence, your help, your faith, they are seen and deeply appreciated. Type I agree with heaven's decree in the comments if this message was yours from the start. Blessing code 7770 is now activated to fast-track your alignment. You are not a victim. You are the revelation. You are not the wounded one. You are the weapon that heaven formed in silence, forged in pain, and refined in fire. Archangel Michael has spoken, not because you are weak, but because you are chosen. And being chosen means that your journey will look different, feel different, and require different. You don't move like them. You don't react like them. You don't respond to betrayal with bitterness. You respond with prophetic restraint, knowing that your silence carries more weight than their chaos ever could. You have walked through a valley that others would have collapsed in. You have endured rumors, slander, gossip, and betrayal, not with revenge, but with reverence. Reverence for the divine instruction that said, "Say nothing." Reverence for the voice that whispered at 3:33 a.m., "Be still." Reverence for the power of heaven that moves in silence and strikes with justice when man least expects it. Archangel Michael did not just defend you. He trained you. He taught your hands to war without lifting a weapon. He taught your tongue to heal by staying still. And now, he reminds you, you passed the test. Let this be your closing breath in this chapter. You are no longer waiting on justice. You are walking in it. You are no longer hoping for peace. You are hosting it. You are no longer proving your worth, because God has already confirmed it. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them gather. Because every time they gather to speak your name in shadows, heaven floods your name with light. And that light, that divine glow, is what will guide you into this next season of visibility, influence, and transformation. You didn't need to announce your comeback. You lived it. Every day you woke up in obedience, heaven celebrated. Every moment you stayed still, the spirit realm shifted. Every time you refused to speak when tempted to expose, angels drew their swords wider and watched your enemies back themselves into divine correction. The one who wronged you didn't just face consequences. They activated your prophecy. Without realizing it, they were the ignition. But you are the fire. And fire cannot be caged once heaven breathes on it. You are now being called to remain above. Do not descend for drama. Do not reply to confusion. Do not let emotional temptations trick you into leaving your place of elevation. There is no more need to prove anything. You are seen. You are sealed. You are rising. And nothing they say can reverse what God has decreed. Archangel Michael stands over your destiny with flaming wings and a drawn sword, not to attack, but to protect. Protect the anointed. Protect the calling. Protect the silence. Because in that silence is the sound of unshakable victory. Feel that in your spirit. The quiet confirmation. The internal calm. That is heaven's signature. That is the echo of God saying, "I've got it from here." You've done your part. You stayed quiet. You remained still. You trusted when it didn't make sense. And now, the rewards are chasing you. Divine upgrades. Unseen promotion. Supernatural exhilaration. Favor in unexpected rooms. And rest. True rest, in your soul. The one who wronged you can no longer touch you. The version of you they hurt no longer exists. And the version of you that remains is cloaked in power, wisdom, grace, and divine authority. Walk out of this moment with your head high. Walk into this next chapter with holy confidence. Let the light that once made you a target now become your banner of triumph. You are no longer misunderstood. You are miraculously clarified. You are no longer hidden in fear. You are hidden in favor. You are no longer in waiting. You are in wonder. And from this day forward, your life will speak what your mouth never had to. Type, "I am the revelation," in the comments if you are walking boldly into your elevation. Lesson code 3339 is now sealing your transformation.